Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of my mini ship history of Holland America Line. This is an adaptation of my earlier talk at the Australian National Maritime Museum celebrating the 150th anniversary of this company, as well as the publication of the epic 5-volume series of books detailing the history of this incredible shipping company. In my hands is the first volume. Volumes 1 and 2 are now published, and there is a link down below of where you can purchase a copy. So for our mini ship history talk, we're going to be looking at the 1908 Rotterdam. This was Holland America Line's new flagship of 1908. The first decade of the 20th century was promising for Holland America Line. Profits were increasing, the level of immigration traffic out of Europe towards the United States was increasing exponentially, and with the continuous improvement of technology and maritime architecture, the level of luxury that could be put onto ocean liners was also entering new fields. And so we have the Rotterdam, a beautiful two-funneled national flagship. At over 24,000 tons, this ship was the new flagship for the Dutch merchant marine. One of its many innovations included this beautiful glassed-in promenade deck, which was much appreciated by its passengers during those cold and blustery North Atlantic crossings. This ship proved to be very popular. So popular that in August 1913, it set a record for the most number of passengers carried on a Holland America Line ship. At that time, it was in excess of over 2,900 passengers. Among the many reasons for this ship's popularity was its ultra-modern and beautiful interiors, and you can see a selection of photos up here that are flicking through. At the time, Victorian and Edwardian decor tastes stipulated that clutter was good. The more ornate, the more over-the-top, the more decoration there was to be seen, then the grander the perception was. So this is why throughout the first 2 decades of the 20th century, ocean liners had this very grand, over-the-top interior look. The Rotterdam survived the First World War without incident, and in 1925 embarked on what was then considered a novel concept for Holland America Line. It started to perform cruises. In fact, it was so successful on these limited off-season events that in 1929, Holland America Line had the ship completely reconditioned. They spent the equivalent of $1 million, even painted the ship white, as you can see here, so that it could do cruising on a more regular basis. Unfortunately, in 1929, the Wall Street crash occurred, which precipitated the global worldwide depression. Throughout the 1930s, the Rotterdam was used as a reserve ship, and by the late 1930s, it was well and truly starting to show its age. However, the ship did get a final burst of life. Up until the outbreak of the Second World War, there was a huge displacement of refugees and people trying to escape Germany, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and surrounding countries. The demand was so great that every ship that had passenger capacity was utilized to get as many people out of Europe. And so the Rotterdam was quite literally dusted off and put back into service. The accounts, which you can read in volume 2 of the 5-volume history of this company, offer an interesting insight into the relief of people escaping from the horrors that's about to happen, as well as their disappointment at seeing what was once a grand, beautiful ship at the end of its life. It was old, it was dusty, it was clearly ready for the scrapyard. And by January 1940, that is exactly what the Holland America Line executives did. They put the ship out of its misery and it was scrapped. But all in all, a 3-decade-long career that not only gave the company a beautiful new flagship, but also at its very end helped the survival of many desperate people getting out before the outbreak of World War II. And so there you have it, the mini history of 1908's Rotterdam. Stay tuned for the next mini ship history coming up.